Dr. Ratzinger, Dr. Ratzinger, Dr. Ratzinger.
Yes, he is here. I promise you we would speak to the rock and roll superstar, and I have kept my word. Let's say good evening to the wonderful Noel Gallagher. Noel, good evening to you.
All right, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. How are you? You good?
Yes, very well.
You must be made up after your team was successful at Wembley yesterday.
It was a good day in the end. It was a good day.
Yeah, and it started in a stranger way with Willie in goal, which surprised everyone, apart from, of course, the manager, who stuck to his word. But when you saw the team sheet, what were you thinking?
I was like 90% of the City fans, probably 99% of the City fans, incredulous. It's just like, I can't believe that we're in a final and he's not playing the strongest team. But as any man knows, there's no point in having a big Willie if you don't get it out. So
please tell me that's not the first time you've used that.
He had a decision to make. He either goes with his heart or his Willie, and as any man will tell you, your Willie usually wins in that situation.
There's a joke about Willie weeping after the final whistle, but I won't do that joke. It's too easy. Let's talk about the game, because it was a stranger game. It wasn't the most exciting game, certainly the first 45 minutes. Were you surprised at how dull it was, bearing in mind the team that you put out, apart from Willie?
Well, they both had midweek European games, so it's probably got something to do with it. But it caught fire in the south. I thought the second half and the extra time was great. But there was a bit cagey. But you'd have to expect that, as it's probably the only trophy either of us were going to win this season. So it's kind of like a no-lose kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Do you really believe that? You don't? I don't mean Liverpool. I mean you guys. You don't think you got a chance, Champions League or Premier League?
Well, to win the Champions League, we're either going to have to beat two of the big three, and with the best will in it. I mean, I was in the dressing room with the players yesterday, and they're all very bullish about it. Vinny, for starters, is not giving up on the league. You know what I mean? He's kind of like, I'm only just back after injury. I'm not giving it up. So they're, if we win on Wednesday, it's I guess, but we're having Tottenham do the double on us and was not beating Leicester. It's kind of, I can't see us winning it. But then again, the two times we have won it, I've said that as well. So you never know.
You're still fighting on three other fronts now, and that could prove to be the problem. But I want to talk about Sterling actually, and I thought he actually didn't play that badly, but he fluffed his lines. He had two great chances, and I'd love to have seen what his reaction was going to be if he scored.
He played great in Kiev, and he played great yesterday, and he still kept looking for the ball when he missed his chances. And I said to him in the dressing room afterwards, "What's happened there?" And he was kind of he didn't really know what had gone on. He was just like, kind of said, "I don't know." Said, "I don't know." He said, the first miss was bad, but when extra time is over, there's going to be one or two stories developing in the press today. One was going to be Sterling blew it for City. The other one was going to be, is Big Willie going to be the hero? And as Big Willie walked up, we were saying, "Come on, Big Willie, show us your balls," and he did, and he got us through in the end, and he's a legend forever. I
saw that you put on Instagram a picture of David Silva's shirt that he gave to you, but
this is what a story this is. So they take us into the dressing room and blah blah. It's all the lads having a smile like that, and I've never met Silva before, and he kind of comes over and he said to me, great to meet you and all that. And I said, right. And he said, "You're always so kind when you speak about me." And I was like, all right. And he said, he took his shirt off and he said, "Thank you very much for that. And here is my shirt." And he was thanking me. And I was like, what? I mean, honestly, it was just like, what a dude. Unbelievable.
Do you know what, Noel? Let's be brutally honest about Man City's season, okay? This is, and when you started, the lowest on all four priorities, but yesterday goes to show silverware is silverware, and when you win, it doesn't matter. You still celebrate it like it's a pot, and it just showed it. The players, the fans, everyone.
We were desperate to win that trophy yesterday, because for the manager, it's amazing. He's won 3 trophies in 3 years. For the players, well, it's like as a fan, it's once you get to the quarterfinals, it's on. If you get knocked out before the quarterfinals in that cup, it's kind of it's not the biggest disaster in the world. Once you get to the quarters and the semis, it's on. When you're playing Liverpool in the final, it's on. You know what I mean? if it's a Manchester team and a team from Liverpool, that's as big a game as it gets. And if we'd have lost that game yesterday, I'd have been devastated.
Well, let me ask you about something that Jay and I have spoken about, and many of Man City fans have phoned up to give their view on it. I wonder if there's a worry amongst Man City fans that if you stay round about fourth in the Premier League, the longer the season goes on, and the further you progress in the Champions League, because he's not there next year, I just wonder if he'll start resting the big-name players if they're carrying little knocks and little injuries, and he'll rest them in the Premier League, because he doesn't care if you finish fifth, as long as you go as far as possible, and even, dare I say it, win the Champions League. That's what he wants on his CV. That must be a worry for City fans, because it could happen.
It could, yeah. I mean, it would be the biggest irony of all time if Guardiola rocks up and we finish fifth. You know, that would be insane. But I can't. I mean, he seems to be such.
But you can't blame him if he does that. If you've got 5 games to go to the end of the season and you are fourth, and he knows you're not going to win it, there's no reason why he should play strongest sides in the Premier League, is there?
Look, if we win the Champions League and finish fifth, you know, we're still in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Right?
But if you lose in the final and finish fifth,
well, if we're losing that, yeah. I mean, you know, I do feel somehow it's our destiny to play Bayern Munich on the way to the final, and the golfing class to be there for all to see, maybe. He seems to be such a man of integrity that I don't think he'd do that. You know, somehow, you know what I mean? I don't think he'd do that.
Well, it'd be interesting, like Andy said, if gets to a situation where he has to make a choice, a little bit like he did with the FA Cup, maybe not as obvious, but in terms of what he has to achieve now, if the title does look like it's going to be coming out of reach, and it looks more likely the Champions League is there, you couldn't blame him. And you know, as a manager now, he's got one job to do, and that's to try and win as many trophies as he can. If he sees the Champions League as the best option, I can see him making those tough decisions.
No, of course. But I mean, like, this is why yesterday kind of takes the pressure off a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, if we end up finishing fourth now and get knocked out in the next round of the Champions League, we've won a trophy. It's like Chelsea used to always do it when they weren't winning the big trophies. They always kept it ticking over with an FA Cup or a League Cup. Do you know what I mean? And it kind of builds your reputation as serial winners, which is why we're so proud of it yesterday. It was kind of like, you know, yeah, we did it. And, you know, for all the slagging that we give Yaya, and we do, for all that we say about him and all that, when he has a bad game, when he ambled up to take that penalty yesterday,
yeah, you're right.
He was never going to miss it.
Absolutely.
Hold on.
No,
who could have predicted that then, Noel?
Well, only a soothsayer.
Yeah, let me just, in case people don't know what I'm talking about, there was a sort of 40-second, 50-second viral of Noel being spoken to before the game in front of a fence. I don't know where that was. And he was asked what the score will be, who will win it. And he said, we'll win it on penalties. And the lady that was asking the question said, who will score the winning penalty? And Noel went, Yaya.
Yeah.
When was that done?
That was done on the way to the ground about about half 2.
Is it true that you recorded 82 different versions of that?
No, I actually thought going to the ground, I thought it's going to be a long game. I felt it'd go to extra time, and because of the European thing in the week, and I didn't think either team would have enough to blow the other team away, even though we should have been at least 3-0 up at one point with the penalty decision and all that. And I just thought, if it goes to penalties, well, you've always got to back your team, haven't you? But like I say, when Yaya ambled up there yesterday, it was just like, man, that guy, he's won us so much. He scored the game in the semi-final, scored the goal against United in the semi-final, scored the goal in the FA Cup final. He scored 30 goals on the way to us winning the league that year. I mean, for all that we say about him and all that, he's a legend for us. He's an immense player.
I want to get your view on something Jay touched on ever so briefly, the FA Cup. What was your view on the fact that your side put out such a weakened side, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go to the game and I didn't go because of the team that he was going to pick. But in his defence, there was I think there was 4 or 5 of not of the first team, of like the second stringer players like Navas, Delph, Nasri, De Bruyne, they were all injured. If they'd have been playing, if they'd have been fit, they'd have been playing, and there might have only been 3 or 4 kids. It wouldn't have been as bad. So injuries did play a part. But with the two wins now, he's completely and utterly justified.
In terms of Pellegrini now, with what's going on at the football club, are there any concerns that the players, I suppose after yesterday there's not, but any concerns that the players may start to look elsewhere, start to think about the new manager?
Well, I said to Vinny in the dressing room yesterday, so what, next season? They won't even have talk of it.
Oh,
they
really?
won't even speak about it.
Yeah, that's good.
I was just saying to him, so, oh, well done, congratulations and all that. And I was saying, so, wow, next season start of a new era.
I bet that's come from in-house. I bet that's just not him. I
Well,
bet that is a company policy.
I know. I see what you did there, Jay. That's good. I kind of know Vinny a bit, and he's kind of a mate, and he just shut it down immediately. He was just like, no one's, next season's next season. We're thinking about now, you know what I mean? And they're not giving up on the league, so you never know. But they've all got the right attitude, so it seems.
Just finally, before we let you go, Leicester, Spurs, Arsenal, and your mob, top four. Do you still think Leicester are going to win it?
It's looking more likely every game that they play. It's like when they played yesterday or Saturday, they'd had a week off. Everyone else is, like Tottenham have got a game in the week, Liverpool have got, Arsenal have got games in the week. So they've only got 10 games left in the season. We could have at least potentially, 16 games or, however long, if you get to a European final and all that. So they've got one game a week. They're not getting any injuries. You'd be a fool to back against them. But saying that, as we've said, the three of us down the years, if there's one league that's going to make a fool out of you, it's this one.
Who do you want to win it?
If City don't win it, they shouldn't have a league this year. They should ban it. Like when the Sex Pistols got to number one with God Save the Queen, there kind of wasn't a winner. But I wouldn't mind Tottenham winning it, and I tell you why. And I'm not a Tottenham fan, as you well know. It would be because I like their manager and the fact that he's built that team over 3 or however long he's been there, 2 or 3 seasons, and brought the Tottenham youngsters through. I think would be more of a noble achievement than like Leicester, a flash that comes from nowhere. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be like just like a once in a lifetime thing. And I think Pochettino has built that team painstakingly, and I wouldn't mind it being them. But saying that, I don't know. I wouldn't count us out yet.
Okay. Listen, thank you for coming on, and thank you. I know people can't see this, but I can. You've got your David Silva shirt on now while we're having this chat. So
I have indeed, and suspenders, and like stockings, like what's his name, Eric Morecambe. And I'm about to go upstairs and
that's enough. That's enough.
Right, enough Big Willie jokes.
Extended highlights of yesterday's game is what I was going to say. Or was I going to say go and get Big Willie out? I don't know.
Lucky Mrs. G. You're a star as always. Thanks for coming on, pal.
See you later.
Thanks, man.
Bye.